And if Toadette powers up with a super crown, ta-da! She transforms into Peachette.
1 week later.
Bowsette's influence as an internet sensation can't be understated. She's the gender-bent version of the Koopa King Bowser, originating from a webcomic in response to the reveal of a mysterious power-up within New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe back in 2018. So to kick off this year's Mentoktober, I wanted to take a finer look at the phenomenon that is Bowsette, her rise to internet fame, and how Nintendo responded to this character becoming an icon of ludity. I'm TheMentok,
and welcome to Mentoktober.
The year is 2018. Nintendo is broadcasting their September Nintendo Direct to millions of fans across the world. They kick things off with the exciting reveal of Luigi's Mansion 3 for the Nintendo Switch, the announcement of a major update to the highly successful Splatoon 2, oh and look, a port of New Super Mario Bros. U. This was the major 2D Mario game that was originally released for the Wii U back in 2013. And it seemed like a no-brainer to port this title to the Switch. This time, it's the Deluxe Edition, with added playable characters like Nabbit, with his playstyle crafted for beginners since he receives no damage from enemies. Toadette, a longtime favorite in the Mario series, would also join the roster, this time with an exclusive power-up that would also be designed for beginners.
And if Toadette powers up with a super crown, ta-da! She transforms into Peachette. Peachette can double jump, float slowly during free fall, and get a boost back up if she falls into a pit.
Huh, that's strange. So this super crown allows Toadette to transform into a form resembling Princess Peach, with minor visual differences. Now donning the name Peachette, she's given a few extra abilities that serve as a crutch for beginners. And if you're curious as to why they didn't just include Peach as a playable character instead, it's because she's being held captive in her castle by Bowser and his minions during the game. But in response to the super crown having an effect on Toadette, the internet started to become curious as to how this power-up worked in the first place, asking questions like whether or not all Toads can transform into human characters in the Mario universe. I've even seen some weird speculation that was going around at the internet at that time that Toadette would be next in line as the new Princess Peach, ousting her like some kind of queen bee hive mind type of situation. I'm not going to dive deeper into this theory because nobody really talks about it anymore, but it has this whole premise that Toads evolve into humans at some point in their lifetime. This is more or less debunked in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I don't know if you want to take that movie as canon, but it's confirmed that Peach is a human, so this theory doesn't really hold much water to me.
Come on now, dawg.
Only 5 days after the Direct, Malaysian artist AYYK92 would post a short comic strip to Twitter with the first 2 panels recapping the ending of the events of Super Mario Odyssey, with Princess Peach rejecting the love of both Mario and Bowser. As Mario consoles Bowser with a pat on the back, Bowser offers a more drastic solution to their problem, the Super Crown.
Hey yo!
The comic ends with Mario and now transformed Bowsette seemingly on a romantic stroll past a tennis match between Peach and Luigi as they look over in confusion. And though Bowser's new form isn't named in this comic, this is credited as the origins of Bowsette. Some have scrutinized this name over the years since it's more of a fusion between the names Bowser and Toadette rather than Peach and Bowser. So I guess she should technically be named Peezer? Bouch? Okay, I see why we went with Bowsette. Either way, Ike92 popularized the idea of what would be known as Bowsette, with over 150,000 mentions across Twitter. This opened the floodgates to a slew of fan art with varying designs. The most popular, of course, is Bowsette with blonde hair, horns, sharp teeth, and a black dress like the original comic strip. But artists also depicted her design to be closer to Bowser's color scheme, having red hair and darker skin as a result. And this popularity wasn't exclusive to the West. In Japan, Bowsette was also trending with the name Koopeach, or Princess Koopa, becoming the #1 trending word on Twitter in Japan on the 24th of September, 2018. Japanese artists also threw their renditions into the mix, and for a lot of the fan art popping up at the time, they injected Bowser's aggressive personality into these designs. Popular manga artists also threw their hats into the ring, like One Punch Man's Yusuke Murata or Coolkyoushinja, creator of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and I Can't Understand What My Husband Is Saying. Yes, that's an actual manga title. By October of that year, Japanese fans were already attempting to organize an event in Tokyo strictly dedicated to Bowsette, called Crown Plan Bowsette Only Event, which would have been a celebration of the character with fan art, cross-dressing events, and cosplay. While I can find articles about the event being planned for October 27, 2018, I can't seem to track down footage of it or find out if it even managed to get off the ground. Now, I can't get through this segment discussing the impact of Bowsette without mentioning how this led to an explosion of not safe for work content.
If we have any children, please step out. This is a parental guidance moment.
People were so thirsty for this fan character that a site codenamed Hornpub reported that Bowsette was their 9th most popular search in 2018, with over 34 million searches. And keep in mind, Bowsette wasn't even a thing until September of that year. Also, Fortnite was number 2 on this list, so I guess that says a lot about their demographics. So yeah, Bowsette went from a funny meme to an extremely popular character to lewd. But in response to all this newfound popularity, it wasn't long before fans started petitioning for Bowsette to become an official Nintendo character. One Gabriel Rodriguez started a petition on change.org called Bowsette is Real, pleading with Nintendo to make the character a part of the Mario cast. We hope Nintendo gives even a glimpse at this character. Personally, I would love to see her in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, even if it's only a trophy. That way Nintendo may accept her existence slowly, but surely. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, I guess, but I think one of the comments said it best. Don't let your memes remain dreams. So, how did Nintendo respond to this Bowsette craze?
Stop asking me questions. You out in front of my house at 4 a.m.
A Japanese site called JCast News contacted Nintendo to ask how they felt about Bowsette or if they were considering her inclusion in a game. Their exact response was, "We will refrain from commenting on posts posted on the internet." So we're probably not going to see Nintendo entertain this idea anytime soon. But what if I told you they came up with this idea before it was even a trend? The same September in 2018, Nintendo released a book called The Art of Super Mario Odyssey, a collection of concepts, sketches, and miscellaneous art from the hit 2017 Mario title, Super Mario Odyssey. This was the book where we got to see scrapped ideas as well as the famous concept art of Rosalina playing the guitar, or King Totomesu from Super Mario Land being part of the desert stage of the game before they went with a Mesoamerican theme instead. Tucked away within this art book is this image of what looks like a fusion of Bowser and Peach, simply titled Koopeach, or Koopeach in the translated version. So the major gameplay mechanic within Super Mario Odyssey is that Mario can use a sentient cat named Cappy to latch onto objects or living beings and capture them to use their unique abilities. Most of the time, Mario is somewhat of a fusion between himself and the thing that he captures. So in this image, it looks like it was an idea for the Bowser battle, where Bowser somehow obtains his own capturing hat and flings it at Peach, which would have initiated the next step of the battle. And you know, this isn't all that weird to me since we've seen Ganon do it with Zelda and Twilight Princess. So I think they were going for a similar vibe here with this idea. The sketch of Koopeach keeps Bowser's red hair, parts of the shell, his massive hands, and tail. Interestingly, whoever sketched this added the distinct fangs we commonly see in Bowsette art. Not that it takes an artistic genius to come up with that idea, I'm just fascinated with the commonalities here. So while Nintendo refuses to comment on the Bowsette craze, they can't say they didn't cook this idea up at some point. This is speculation on my part, but with the inclusion of Peachette in the latest Booster Course DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I couldn't help but think this was an intentional reference to Bowsette's popularity, without making her an official character. Peach is already in the game, so it's just a slightly altered version of her. Maybe it was to save time on modeling a new character, but in the back of my mind, this was a quiet shout out to Bowsette/Koopa fans out there. Because it's no coincidence she started trending again shortly after the Nintendo Direct with this announcement. So that's more or less the rundown on Bowsette, but I can't ignore all the other characters that came out of this trend. The most popular being Bowsette or Bouette. Yeah, the internet got their hands on other characters too. The idea was simple. What if all of these Mario characters wore the Super Crown? Bouette, Bowsette, or Princess Boo, whatever you want to call her, was the outcome of King Boo using the Super Crown and started trending on the internet as early as September 24th, 2018. There was even a little sequel to the original Bowsette comic, this time with Luigi gaining a little inspiration from Mario and Bowsette's situation. There were a lot of continuations to this comic, but viewers, I present to you the rest of the Ets. Bloopette, Cheapette, Yoshette, Birdette, Koopette,
I'd like the Koopa special.
Dry Bonesette, Shyette, Princess Goomba, Kamet, Chain Chompette, Lucky Tuette, Wariette, Waluigiette, Piranette, and oh my god, there's a Nabbit. I'm sure I missed a few, but despite some of the racy fan art that came out of this, it was an interesting time. So here we are 5 years later, and this is where Bowsette is right now. While Bowsette is no longer breaking the internet per se, I'd say she left quite an impact on the Mario, gaming, and fan art community. There's no shortage of Bowsette fan art out there, and she's become quite the popular choice for cosplay as well. And as for the original artist, Ake92, also known as Haniwa on Twitter, continues to create art and comics with over 98,000 followers. Look, they even posted a 5th anniversary drawing of Bowsette to celebrate. Hey, yo, but what's going on with that tail though? Bowsette is one of those phenomena that strike once in the blue moon, so if I'm doing videos regarding the origins of Mario characters, I think she deserves a spot alongside the rest of them. If you like this kind of content, I did a full origins video for the actual Bowser last year to celebrate Mentoktober, so be sure to check that one out. And stay tuned for more scare-tastic content. And until next time, be safe. The Prophet.
Do you think you can really escape?